Give me a second to get ready here. Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for coming. Just because I'm curious, could you please raise your hand if you came from out of town to be here? I'm going to narrow it down a little. How about out of state? Wow, so impressive. Can we give these people a round of applause, please? See, the reason I did that was because you've already done more work than me. I live like 2 minutes away, so I woke up like an hour or two ago. So good for you on that part. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to speak in front of you all. And I was rattling around to my mind, what I might talk about today, what might be appropriate. Because when you think about it, graduation is a very strange occasion. In one instance, you have reached the peak of one mountain. You become the master of high school, so to speak. But in the very same moment, you hit the rock bottom of another mountain in college. You still got an entirely different mountain to climb, so good luck with that. It's both a moment of great celebration as well as great change. So what I've settled on talking about today is some advice that I wish I'd heard during my 4 years here at this school. And this is something that's abiding all throughout life, so it doesn't matter who you are throughout this crowd, whether you're a teacher, or a student, or a family member, or a friend, or a junior marshal, they deserve a shout out. This is abiding for whoever you are, wherever you are in life. Learn to enjoy the moment. Learn to enjoy the moment because it will never be there again. And some of you grown-ups may be thinking, why do we need to tell that to young people? See, it seems to me that most of these young people can't look up from their cell phones for 10 seconds to look ahead at the future. To which I respond, firstly, I'm 18. I'm technically an adult, which is a scary thought. And secondly, and more importantly, these are early college kids. They're different, in a good way. For the most part, we're all very self-driven and frantic about putting our future together. These are very high-performing, service-oriented students, and these goal achievers are the kinds of people that need to hear it the most. To quote Albus Dumbledore, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. You know, this may sound like a cliche, but it's probably the farthest thing from it. The last thing you want to be is someone who's achieved all their goals only to see everything that they've left behind, most oftentimes a family and a home. You know, you see this all the time in the corporate world. Someone puts hundreds of hours into the job, and sure, they climb the ladder and they get the salary that's the envy of everyone. But what do they come home to? A family that they're distant from. And I'm not saying that dreams are bad. You just need to find a balance. Chase your dreams and learn to enjoy the moment too. Because beauty and happiness are not locked far away in the future, hidden behind your dreams, but they're right. You can't see it because I'm wearing this hat, but I used to not have hair. But I went through an aesthetic change halfway through my high school career. But anyway, more importantly, each of the kids that you see up here had the opportunity to speak to the other people that attend their school, and they had a chance to talk about their experience over the past 4 years. And it was a great reminder to me, and hopefully to everyone else that was there, that people have very real problems. Like, people have problems, and life can be a real pain sometimes. You know, I can say for me personally, I had some serious issues in my life this past year, and especially this past semester. And it's not because I'd done something stupid and these were consequences that I had to deal with. You know, I did something really stupid in the past and I had this burden to bear. But no, it's just because life happens, and horrible things happen to normal people all the time. That's just life. And what I found is, during those trying times of your life, it's all the more important to focus on the moment. You know, if I'm being completely honest, because of my life circumstances, most of this semester felt like an impenetrable dark cloud surrounding me in which I saw no light at the end of the tunnel. But yet, despite that, I kept on pushing forward. I kept on pushing forward just because I had to. And I know that's not the best attitude to have, but you still have to keep on moving forward. And so, as I walked along this path, because of the stuff I was reading and the people around me, I suddenly came to this great realization. The key to withstanding suffering is to shrink your time frame. The key to withstanding suffering is to shrink your time frame. And once I realized this, I began to step out of that dark cloud, and it felt like it was dissipating around me. You know, sometimes the path ahead looks painful and impossible. It looks like too much to bear. So if you can't see yourself making it past the next year, just make it through this month. If you can't make it through this month, make it through this week. If you can't make it through this week, just make it through this day. If today's too painful, just make it through this very moment. You know, life sometimes looks like a big, ugly painting. So what you have to do is, you have to zoom in on the part of the painting where there's a flower or something, you know, something beautiful and good and true and abiding. You have to focus in on the little fragments of good dotted throughout the darkness of life. And that's how you make it through hard times, by seeing the beauty that's frozen and crystallized in a moment. The last person I want to quote puts it so clearly. And if you're going to pay attention to anything I say, please pay attention to this. I'm a Christian, and so when I think about the beauty in a moment, I think about some words Jesus Christ said on the Sermon on the Mount. Do you guys see this? What is this? It's a flower, that's right. And so, yeah. And so, Jesus is talking to a group of hardworking people on a mountainside, much like yourselves. And so what he does is, he plucks a flower from the field and he says, look at the flowers of the field. They don't work hard, they don't even make their own clothes, and yet God clothes them more beautifully than the most radiant kings of the world. If that's how God takes care of the flowers of the field, how much more will he take care of you? Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. I want to conclude by just doing a little application, living in the moment, right now. Graduation for the class of 2018 will never happen again. So I want you to just take a moment and look around yourself and enjoy the scene. Just absorb it into your memory. Look at the people that you've come here with. Look at your beloved up here wearing their cap and gown, and think about all of the hard work that they've put in over these past 4 years just to be sitting up here today. No, I'm serious. I want you guys to actually take some time to think about it. It's nice, isn't it? Enjoy it. So before I go, I would be remiss if I didn't give all my thank yous. Firstly, to my fellow classmates of the graduating class of 2018, thank you so much for going through these 4 years with me. It's been a bumpy ride, but I can say in the end that I'm very proud of all of you guys. Special shout out goes to Malcolm and Brittany for being my best pals throughout my high school time here. And another shout out goes to Mason Stanley for agreeing to live with me in Chapel Hill next year. Go Heels! I'd like to thank both the early college and the community college teachers for reinvigorating my passions for these subjects and giving me a deeper and more complex view of the world. Thank you so much for that. I'm thankful to the early college program itself. The graduation that you see here is a product of the beautiful synergy that we have between colleges and public education in North Carolina. There are a lot of friends outside of school that were support to me. There are some church friends that gave me a lot of love and support during this time, and friends in my Filipino-American community as well, and so they deserve a shout out. To my family, my father, my brother, and my mother, my princess, I love you, and I hope I've made you proud. And lastly, I'd like to thank God for bringing each of you into my life and for bringing me into yours. Congratulations, you all deserve to celebrate. Thank you.